that's going to start allowing our bodies to settle down for sleep, improving our sleep qualities. And also, technology stresses us out. Emails coming in, messaging. You don't want to see emails coming in from work at 9 o'clock at night saying, something's hit the fan tomorrow and stuff's coming off. So let's think about managing our boundaries in terms of technology. I think, and light is a really important thing. I think nowadays, in the modern world, we've got all of these unnatural lights, like the ones that are shining on my face. But when in the previous days, in evolutionary terms, we came up with the sun and we went down with the sun, and now we're living with all these artificial lights, just stressing our bodies out. We're keeping ourselves awake longer. So can we start turning the lights down? Can we be one thing that's really, really good for night lights is red light, because they found that using red light has a lesser impact on our sleep than on the blue light being emitted from phones. So what we eat, in terms of our sleep, managing our tech orders, and another thing with sleep, I think it's important to have a cold room. And I think at the moment, in terms of all the energy crisis that we've going on, that's not bad for our sleep. We want that room cold, 17 degrees C, and we want it really, really, really dark. And it's funny, really, because relationships is just such an integral part of my coaching. And no matter what people come to me with, they'll always come into it. And I think, when we're at home, that's the time to nurture those relationships. Too often we're sat at our kitchen table eating dinner with our phones in our hands, texting, and why aren't we sitting around having real conversations and connecting with people? Because that sense of belonging and connection is just so important for our mental well-being. It's absolutely integral. And so we've got to enhance that. Let's get rid of technology and let's sit around the table and eat, or just spend quality time with people that we love.
Because not a lot of people do that, do they? You see them kind of going out for a meal with friends and they're all sitting on their phones, and you're thinking, what's the point of being out if that?
What is the point?
I mean, when I was really depressed, fed up with life, I can remember actually coming on and chatting to people online, because I felt like I could connect to people online better than I could with real friends. And then I eventually got up to the point where I couldn't put up with the crappy job I was in, the crappy friends. So I had to make that move. But not a lot of people get to that point, do they? It's kind of like, it's not that bad. It could be worse. How do you get them to overcome that fear? That you can make this change. You just need to step outside that comfort zone, because we can talk ourselves in and go, yeah, but I need Candy Crane on my phone to fall asleep. Yeah, I could do this, but my job's not too bad compared to like the refugees getting lost at sea and stuff like that. We always kind of find ways to justify, to keep our bullshit as our bullshit. How do we get people to stop, who are probably arguing just now, going, oh, but I need my phone for, how do we get them to start thinking, look, life shouldn't be this way. You shouldn't be making yourself physically sick. You shouldn't be needing a drink to calm down at night. You shouldn't need to be avoiding your kids because you're stressed and you don't know how to talk to them. How do we make that first step to kind of go, actually, I need somebody like yourself. Actually, I need more from life than I'm getting, because it's terrifying.
So if I've got somebody that wants something, they've got this dream, this desire, they're saying something doesn't feel quite right, Cordelia, then what? But I can't do it because I'm scared. I think we need to put that fear under the microscope, and that's one of the things I always say to my clients. Let's put this under the microscope.